Hi guys, and welcome to another video on our YouTube channel. This one is a bit special because, as you can see me, it's the first video with someone from our team who will be showing you something from the world of Excalidraw. Today it's me, so if you haven't met me yet, hi, I'm Gabi, and you may know me from our Discord or our support inbox or, for example, our LinkedIn, where I'm posting a lot of interesting content, so if you don't follow us there, make sure you do it. When we were thinking with which video we should start, I was suggesting something very easy, and I was thinking about a simple walkthrough of our editor, because I believe there is still a lot of people who don't know what Excalidraw is, and I think we should respect that and show it to them. So we will be briefly exploring Excalidraw's UI and the basic functionalities, but we won't be going much in depth because we have a lot of time and a lot of space on our YouTube channel, so we will be keeping this for later videos. And before we start, let's talk shortly about what Excalidraw is. So, Excalidraw is an online and free, this is very important, free whiteboarding tool that you can use for pretty much everything. You can create there quick sketches, diagrams, mind maps, wireframes, or also complex graphic designs, which, for example, is my favorite use case because I'm a former graphic designer. So if you will see some graphic designs on our LinkedIn, that's my job here. And yeah, it's also important to say that everything that's created in our free version is stored locally in your browser, which means that if you clear that browser storage, the content will be lost. So just keep it in mind and make sure to save your work. Or you can switch to Excalidraw Plus, which is made for this. You can save your content to the online workspace, which is synced between devices. So yeah, just keep this in mind. And now let's move on to the UI itself. So we will be moving to my screen, and as you can see, this is how Excalidraw looks like for the first time when you visit excalidraw.com in your browser. You will see this welcome screen, which we created for newcomers to make everything easier for them. So you can see some quick actions for opening, for live collaboration, because Excalidraw is made for live collaboration. You can also sign up from here to Excalidraw Plus or open help if you need it, which I think is pretty useful. You also have here these nice hints, which are telling you what to do in a specific section of our UI. So let's move on to the first part, which is in top left corner, and it's the Hamburger menu. As you can see in the hint, you will find here export, preferences, languages, and much more. So yeah, when we click on it, you can see here basic functionality for opening, saving, exporting, but also live collaboration. This guy here, highlighted one, is a command palette, which is really helpful if you are into effective work or shortcuts. You can find here a lot of interesting features and their shortcuts. You can also find in Hamburger menu, find on canvas functionality, help, or you can reset your canvas from here if you need it. And since Excalidraw is a lot about community, we wanted to make sure to give you some helpful links. So you can find here a link to Excalidraw Plus, also a link to GitHub if you are into open source. You can also follow us on our Twitter account and join our Discord chat. And if you prefer using dark mode, which, to be honest, I'm not the fan of it when it comes to graphic design, so I'm not using it, but you can change your theme via Hamburger menu too, and you can also change the language or background if that's something you are into. Now let's move on to the center part, which is the most important one, because Excalidraw is all about drawing and you need the right tools for it. Starting from the left, you can see here the lock button. I will explain this feature later. Then we have a standard padding mode, selection mode, basic shapes like rectangle, diamond, circle or ellipses, also tools for arrows and lines, free draw if you are using Excalidraw on your tablet and using stylus, text tool, feature for importing images, eraser, and the little guy on the right, more tools, where some of the most interesting features are hidden. For example, frame tool, web embed, laser pointer, lasso selection, or our AI features, text to diagram, wireframe to code, or mermaid to Excalidraw if you know the mermaid annotation. Moving to the right part of our editor, here is probably the most important action, share button, where you can start the live collaboration and collaborate with literally anybody in real time. But if you want to share your scene with someone else and make sure they won't change anything, you can also use a shareable link. We will also go through it later. The last section in the top right corner is library, which is great if you want to use some predefined items. But to be honest, we won't be dealing with this section much in this video, and we will keep it for a separate one, because libraries are completely a different section, or how to say it, and I think it would be great to have a separate video which is dedicated to it. Now let's take a look at the bottom part of our editor. In the bottom left you can find UI for zooming, zooming in, zooming out, also resetting your zoom, undo, redo, and on the right part of it you can also find help, which is great if you want to know a specific shortcut, or if you want to find some other links, for example, to the documentation, blog, GitHub, or our YouTube channel. But since you are here, you don't need it anymore. But yeah, help is great if you really need to know any shortcut or find another hidden feature. So yeah, if I haven't bored you yet, let's move on to the more interesting part, which is the center stage, or we can call it like this. And as the hint says, pick a tool and start drawing, because it's simple like that. And before I'll start showing you how it looks like and what you can do with it, also notice that we have some hint right under the toolbar, because we wanted to show you what you can do with Excalidraw at each step of your journey. So yeah, if you don't know how to do anything, you can also take a look at here. So I'm gonna start with basic shapes, and I will start with a rectangle. So as you can see, when I click on a rectangle tool, there is also another UI on our left, and it's the Preferences panel. As the title says, Preferences panel is for setting how the created object will look like. So you can use it for setting stroke color, background color, stroke width, stroke style, sloppiness, edges, opacity, and stuff like that. And it's also worth noting that the content which is in the Preferences panel is changing based on the tool you selected. So this will be different for all other shapes and features we will be selecting. Just keep this in mind. You don't have to set everything beforehand. You can do it after you create the shape. So I will create my first rectangle. And as you can see, by default, created shape respects how you move with your cursor. But if you want to create an even shape, you need to hold Shift. And this way you can create, for example, circle or square or even a diamond. So yeah, it's really useful. But I will create a standard rectangle. And by default, once you create that shape, you can see that my cursor switched to selection. So I think this is the great time to explain you this little guy on the left, which is the lock tool. If you don't like this behavior and you want to have that specific tool selected all the time, make sure to activate lock. And now you can see that when I create another rectangle, I still have that tool activated on my cursor, and I can create another rectangle or another square, etc. And if you want to quickly exit this mode, just hit Escape. And as I already explained, once the shape is created, you can change its settings. So just select it, and via the Preferences panel, change the stroke, for example, or change the background, or fill, stroke, basically everything you want to. You can also see that once you select that object or create its shape, the content of Preferences panel changes slightly, and you can see here some new actions, for example, for duplicating or for deleting or for creating a link, which is also useful if you want to link something to your content. And if you don't want to change settings of these objects one by one, you can do it via group. Just select any shape and press Shift and then select any other shape. And yeah, this way you will select more of these objects at once, and you can also customize them. So yeah, this is completely random. I believe that your creations will be much better. I just want to show you what you can use Excalidraw for and what you can do with it. So yeah, this way you can work with any other basic shape tool, meaning rectangle, diamonds, ellipses. So I will show you some of them, but yeah, it's really simple. You don't have to be worried about it. Just, and as you can see, I kept my lock tool activated, which is not something I want, so I will change it. And yeah, let's create some other ellipses. Also some circles. As you can see, I'm not good at creating things and explaining at the same time, so if I will be saying some weird things, please forgive me. And yeah, we're gonna change color here because it's set. I'm also gonna change the stroke style because I prefer this one. Okay, and now you can see basic shapes of Excalidraw. So rectangles or squares, ellipses or circles, and diamonds. And any of these little guys can be customized the way you need it or want it, so no worries about it. One other interesting thing, because I believe that you will be using these objects a lot. If you want to create quickly text in any of these objects, just select it and hit Enter. This way you can create text really quickly. Or if you want to, you can also double click in the middle of this object. Just make sure that you will click really in the middle, otherwise the text wouldn't be bound to it. So yeah, that's just something you need to keep in your mind. And once the text is within the object, you can also customize it via Preferences panel again. But we will get to this later when we will be exploring the text tool itself. So yeah, I need you to take from this one thing. Every time you will be creating something on the canvas, just take a look at the Preferences panel because its content is changing based on the object itself. So it's good to keep it in your mind and work with it. Okay, so I think we can move on to the next part of the toolbar. And here is the arrow tool and the line tool. These two are really similar, but there are some key differences. I will start with arrows because I believe if you will be using Excalidraw for diagrams, arrows is something you will be using a lot. So by default, if you are creating an arrow, you can do it two ways. If you will be dragging from one point to another, it will create perfectly straight two-point line. But if you need to create a multi-point, not line, arrow, if you need to create a multi-point arrow, just keep clicking on canvas. So I will click and click again and again and again and again and again and again. And once I'm done, I will press Escape and my multi-point arrow is created. It works the same way for lines, but the main difference between arrows and lines is that arrows can be bound to objects, lines cannot. So yeah, as you can see, when I activate arrow tool again and when I cross any of these objects, you will see that gray border, which indicates that you can bind the arrow to it. And now you can see that when I move that object or circle, the arrow is moving along with it. Same here. As with any other object, you can change settings of any arrow via Preferences panel, and we actually have a lot of arrow type. You can create a straight arrow with straight corners, or rounded arrow, or you can also create an elbow arrow, which is perfect for creating any type of diagram, and I believe you will also use it a lot. Now that you can see all of these arrow types, one thing about straight 2-point arrows. You can change them anytime to multipoint, either via this purple point right in the middle, or via entering the arrow editor. And I already told you that there is a help, or a little help under the toolbar, and you can see that when you click Command plus Enter, you can edit points of it. If you are using Windows, you will use Ctrl plus Enter, but since I'm using Mac, I will use Command plus Enter. Now you can see that I entered the editor mode, and I can use these points for easily create a multi-point arrow. Yeah, it's really that simple. And you can also bind these endpoints to any object. And if you're satisfied with how your arrow looks like, just press Escape and you will exit that mode. One other thing, you can change arrowheads at each arrow. Just select the arrow, go through the available settings in Preferences panel, and choose arrowheads that are suitable for your use case. That's it. That's really it. Nothing complex, nothing difficult. Just keep in mind that you have to play with the settings. Also, one other thing about creating arrows, which is also another difference compared to the lines. You can also label any arrow. So just select it and press Enter. This way you can create a label. And since it's a text, you can also customize its setting. You can also change the font, or you can change the size of it, yeah, and stuff like that. So if you need to label your arrows, either press Enter or double click on that arrow. It will also create a label. And I think that's everything about arrows. And we can move on to the line tool. As I already told you, lines and arrows are behaving very similarly, but there is still a lot of differences between them. Lines cannot be bound to objects, but if you need to create a complex object, you can use line for that. And we will be creating that complex object with the help of multipoint line. So it's the same as with arrows. If you need to create anything complex, just keep clicking on your canvas, while each click will create a point of your arrow or a line. And if you want to close this object, just end with it where you started, if it makes sense. The ending point has to be where the starting point is. This way you will close that line and so-called polygon will be created. We call it polylines, but yeah, this is just terminology. It's up to you how we will call it. I'm calling it complex objects that are created with the help of line tool. So yeah, once that's done, you can see that the background color was automatically applied. And you can, of course, change it via the settings. But if you don't want your line to behave like this, you can also explode it via Preferences panel. This way, the starting and ending point will be separated, and you can work with it as with two separate points. Or if you need to create some other points of your multipoint line, just enter the line editor the same way as it was with arrows. So press Command plus Enter. You will enter the line editor and you can add some other points if necessary. And once you are satisfied with it, just click or just press Escape again, and that's it. It's that simple. And if you need to create straight 2-point line, just keep dragging with your mouse. So yeah, I think that's also it for lines. So just to repeat it once again, lines cannot be bound to objects, but they can be closed, and you can use lines for creating complex objects, which is great if you are into graphic design, but it's also great if you need to create some icon or stuff like that. I think we can move on to the other item in our toolbar, which is Freedraw. But to be honest, Freedraw I think will be very useful on your tablets, because I'm not good at free drawing with my trackpad, neither mouse, so I'm not using it that often. But yeah, you can definitely use it for writing, for example, on your tablet with your stylus. And each created stroke or object can be again customized via Preferences panel. So yeah, it's the same as with any other tool in our toolbar. The other tool is text tool, which I think is the most interesting one, because everyone is using text, and you will also use text when creating something in Excalidraw. So there are several ways how to create text in Excalidraw. Either you can do it via text tool, so just select it and click anywhere on canvas. Here is the testing text. This is how it looks like. If you need to customize it, just use the Preferences panel on left again. You can customize the font family. By default, we have 4 fonts. And in case you were ever wondering why Excalidraw has just a limited number of choices, it's because we wanted you to focus on the core of the problem, not on unnecessary details, because as you probably know, with more choices, there is something that is called decision paralysis, and you will focus more on these little details, which don't matter in the end. So we wanted to offer you just a limited number of choices, so you can really focus on what's important and not on unnecessary details. That's just it. But with the fonts, you can choose from 4 of them. Here is our signature one, Excalidraw font, but you can also use Lilita one, which is great for headings, Comic Sans, which is great for code, and Nunito, which is great for standard paragraph text. But this is completely up to you. So I will use our signature Excalidraw font. You can also change the font size. You can also change the alignment of the text and yeah, other things. If you need specific size of your text, just right click on canvas and you will see here canvas and shape properties. Click on it, and once you select the text, you will see here some other things in that displayed preferences panel, and also the size of the text itself, which can be changed to literally anything. And yeah, this is also completely up to you. So if you need to set a specific size of your text, you can do it via this properties panel. And yeah, so this is one way how to create text, but you can also do it much easily via simply double clicking on canvas. And that's it. You can do it either via the text tool or via double clicking. And if you need to quickly change this text to rectangle, just right click on the text and choose wrap text in a container. This way it will automatically create rectangle around it, and you can customize it the same way as you would customize any other rectangle. But if you need to divide it into separate text and rectangle again, select it once again, right click and choose Unbind text. This way the text will behave as a separate one. Another great feature of our text tool is that before you start creating any text, you can set its width. It's done via the text tool itself, so just select it. But before you start typing or before you click on canvas, start dragging instead. As you can see, the cursor has changed and you can now customize its width. This way the created text will respect the width you have set. And voila, that's it. That's it, guys. It's that simple. I think that's everything for text, and we can move on to the next tool in our toolbar, which is an image import. And that's very simple, honestly. Just click on it, locate what you want to import, select it, and you can also select more of these images and insert it into your canvas. Here you can see some of the designs I created for our LinkedIn, and this is also something you can create in Excalidraw, and I will get into it in the later videos, so stay tuned. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do it. But this also works with copy-paste. So you don't have to insert images via the action in the toolbar, but you can also locate the image in your computer, simply copy-paste it. I will do it with these guys and paste it, like I said. It will be automatically distributed onto canvas. So yeah, no need to click on anything, just copy and paste. Another tool in our toolbar is Eraser. Honestly, I'm not using Eraser much. I'm usually using Selection plus Delete, but if you are using FreeDraw, then I believe Eraser tool will be very useful to you. So just click on it and erase everything you want. And the eraser will erase everything that will cross its path. So once again, I want to erase this. And that's it. Magic. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit excited about this video, so yeah. I don't think there is anything more we should say to this tool, so let's move onto our magic section, which is more tools. And here you will find some other interesting tools. For example, frame tool, which is a tool that is important for presentations, which are included in Excalidraw Plus. But I believe you will use this tool a lot also in the free editor, because as the title itself says, it's useful for framing your content. So if you want to create a border around something, you can do it via rectangle or you can do it via frame tool. And as you will see, when I activated the frame tool, my cursor has changed again, and an indicator for content being bound to frame is a blue border. So when you start to create that frame around the object, you will see that so far nothing, but now there is a blue border around the image, which means that now the image is bound to frame itself. Once again, frame tool, so far nothing, and now it's there. And yeah, I will also show you the difference when it's there and when it's not. Do you know what I mean? That blue border, it's an indicator for you that the object is bound to the frame itself and it's moving along with it. So it's really important. But you don't need to do it via framing the content. You can also move the content within the frame. Then you can see that the frame itself has a blue border, and you can also hide it partially if that's something you're into. The framing your content is also great if you want to export something and do it, for example, this way. So yeah, as you can see, the image is not fully in the frame itself, and now it's where the magic is happening. Huh? You see it? You see it? But yeah, I want to export on the frame, not the whole canvas. Do you see it? So yeah, that's how it works. And if you want, you don't need to create frame just via frame tool, but you can also select any object or group of them, right click and choose wrap selection in frame. This way The frame is automatically created around the selected objects, and you can move this group or export this group if necessary. And yeah, do literally anything with it. And if you no longer need frame, just click on it and hit delete. It won't delete its content, it will delete only the frame. Another tool in More Tools section is Web Embed. So if you need to embed anything onto your canvas, just select this tool, create a rectangle, and now you will see that it created this field where you need to paste the link. Here is an example video of the IT crowd episode, which I'm usually using because I found it funny. And yeah, once you copy the link, you can just paste it in the URL field, and that's it. Your video was embedded. And we now support also timestamps, so if you have a timestamp in your video, it will start playing exactly from the timestamp, as you can see here. So yeah, that's briefly the Web Embed tool. Another one is Laser Pointer. Laser Pointer is great when you're collaborating with anyone and you just need to show them something, but you don't want to do it with some other tool. Laser Pointer won't change anything, it won't erase anything, it won't destroy anything, so it's really useful if you just want to show something to someone. Another tool is Lasso Selection. Lasso Selection is an addition to our standard selection, but it behaves a bit differently because Lasso Selections select everything that crosses its path. So it's different than standard selection because with standard selection, I will show you, you need to create that selection around everything you want to select, like this. But with the Lasso Selection, all you need to do is cross these objects and they will be automatically selected. And that's the difference between Lasso and between standard selection. So this is really up to your use case and what do you prefer. Me, for example, I prefer the standard selection because I simply need to be more precise with my selections and standard selection is better for me, but this is completely up to you. And another tools in the More Tools section are the AI generative ones, but I will leave these ones for another video because I think they deserve a separate video too. So I think that's it for the whole toolbar. We briefly went through the basics, and just one thing, because I haven't told you yet, but from the UI part there is also a right click. So when you create any object, make sure to select it and right-click on it. You will also find a lot of interesting stuff. For example, horizontal and vertical flip. You can also copy link to object, you can lock the object, and you can do many other things with it. So just keep exploring. Excalidraw is full of great stuff, but you need to keep looking. Now let's move on to the share section. And as I've already told you, you can start a live collaboration here. So if you need to collaborate with anyone on your canvas or on your drawing, just hit the share button and click on start session. You can set here your name, but by default there is some random nickname, usually the funny one, and then just copy the link and send it to anyone. I will show you on my phone how it looks like. Here you can see how it looks like when you join on a canvas which was shared with you. So I will select the penning tool and you can see that you can move through the canvas. You can also create an object here and it will be automatically added to the canvas of your colleague or of anyone who shared the link with you. So yeah, it works on your phone too, but yeah, just keep trying and keep looking. You can also see on my computer how it looks like when someone has joined your scene. I will show you once again. you can do literally anything with it. But yeah, it's definitely better on the desktop, at least for me. And if you want to stop sharing, because this sharing is real time, so you will see the changes in real time, just hit the share button again and click stop session. And as I already told you, if you want to share that scene with someone else without seeing any changes on your scene, just hit the share button again and export your scene to a link. Then share this link with someone else. I will show you again on my phone. And as you can see, again, here is the content. I will use eraser, I will erase anything. I will erase the whole canvas. It's empty now, but as you can see on my screen, it's still the same. So this shareable link or exporting your scene to a link will basically create a static copy of your scene, and you can share it with anyone else and you don't have to be worried about the changes. Or there is also alternative. If you want to share it like this, you can also do it via Hamburger menu. When you click to Save To and choose to Save to Disk. You can then save it as any other file and you can send that file to anyone else. And since I already have this dialog open, here you can see other options of saving. So either you can save your scene to a file or to a shareable link, which we've already explored, or you can export your scene to Excalidraw Plus in case you have an account there. And once you're done with your scene, just export it. You can simply export it as an image. And as you can see, you can also customize the output. You can choose whether to show the background, whether to export it in a dark mode, or whether you want to embed the scene. And you can also choose the scale in case you need bigger dimensions. And you can then export the scene into PNG, SVG, or just copy to clipboard. So I think that's it for today's video. I think we covered all the basics and I've showed you also some of the hidden gems. Yeah, and one thing I forgot, there is also one hidden gem, which is a right click on canvas. And right click on canvas hides some interesting gems, for example, grid mode or snap to objects, which is great if you are into precision. But honestly, Excalidraw is not about precision, but we understand that sometimes you simply need it and you want to be more precise with your designs. So this is what Snap to Objects is made for, so you can use it. But you can also activate Zen mode if you don't want to be disturbed by the UI. And you can also activate View mode, which is great if you want to present your scene with someone else. And you can also show canvas and shape properties, which won't work in view mode, but yeah, that's it. So yeah, I think right now it's really it. We went through the basic UI, we went through the basic functionalities, and I showed you everything I wanted to show you. And yeah, there is still a lot more to explore, so make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet, because more videos will be coming, hopefully not only from me, but also from other people in our company. And yeah, thanks for watching and bye guys!